Welcome to my short video about some Sony HI-MD recorders, and I'm going to mention out of these which I would look to purchase if I was going out looking for them nowadays. Waiting in the back, as always, is the follow-on. It's a Nomad Zen MP3 player. It's 30 gigabytes, so something like that, and what followed really is what kind of killed off the market for these unusual players. And they are quite nice ones to have because you obviously got the backwards compatibility, recording modes and things across these, and the earlier Minidisc players are slightly different. If you want to get into HI-MD and have a muck about, then this is probably where you need to start looking. Really, have a look at some sort of budget ones and see what you can find. Anyway, in no particular order, I'm going to start with the NH900. So that's this one here. I'll just turn it over to show you the back. And this is supposedly the budget version of the NH1. And that's the NH1 there. It just kind of sat above it. So not a bad machine. It came out in 2004. I've unable to find the price of a working one, but non-working you're probably looking at around £50 for. So quite a nice model, a decent display, and it did come in different colours actually. So I've got this kind of darker one. I'll put that one down. The next one I will move to is the RH710. So again, an MZ. I've got a couple of these. This one was my first. So that's a little bit worn, so that's had a lot of use by someone, and this one is less kind of scratched up. So they're quite popular. They sort of vary from around about £150 working, and they came out a bit after, so this was 2005, and they do take standard AA batteries as well, so everyone's familiar with that kind of bulge. I suppose they feel a little bit like the other cheap player, and that was this one here. But anyway, it's got a nice sort of feel to it. The buttons are definite, you know, they're nice to click. So yeah, not a bad one to have. Now the next one is the NH1. So this is probably the one that sits underneath the top of the range model, which everyone's familiar of, which issue with the display, didn't it, on the RH1. So this is the NH1. Let me show you the one that's not so scratched up. So yeah, the one that's a bit marked, and it has seen some days. It still works, so that's nice. But this one is just a bit nicer to look at, isn't it? It's even got the sticker on the front. A popular machine, let down by a couple of things, but we can kind of mention that shortly. So I'll put that back down. Now they do quite a bit. So working, unable to really get a price, but not working as much as £100, so quite a lot of money. Now the budget version, an H600, was available in Europe and the UK. There was a D version as well, which was downloadable, I think, only. And yeah, this is a nice one to have. I did sell one of these that was boxed, so I did have a box version of one of these, and I needed to kind of get rid of some of my bigger boxes of things, so that one went. But I did keep hold of one like this. Nothing wrong with it. Works well. It's just not the top of the range. Okay, and the price for these, they do go up and down, so it's impossible to sort of price this one, but I wouldn't pay too much for something like that. Anyway, the next one, put the phone into a holder, is this one here. Now this one I did get boxed, but I did get it boxed as not working, and I'll show you why. It's actually got the same sticker on the front, hasn't it, as the NH1 had. Let's have a look at that. See? Okay. This one was bought with a battery corroded issue, and I have taken it apart, and there's a few things I did notice apart from this horrible bit of sort of battery work around here. I've actually put this wire on since to make it a bit easier to connect a battery to it, but the corrosion all around here had seeped out, so unfortunately it looks like one of the components, very tiny surface mount component, has gone from here. So I probably need to see if there's anything I can do, if there's any way I can kind of make a short across to get it to work. The other area I found a problem with was some kind of water corrosion around here. From being completely dead, it does attempt to read a disc, but it doesn't seem to spin. The the actual disc doesn't spin inside. I can hear the head, but not the spinning action. So that's where I am with this. And it did have support actually for FM, AM. And maybe I'd use that because I've got the original remote as well as the box. The actual radio part was on the remote. So I have that. Thumbs are getting in the way. There we go. And that's the remote there. So unfortunately it's not doing what I want it to do, but I will persevere. Now it does mention on here as well about a model number, and I believe that I might be able to take apart one of these others, and it might not be that different, so it could be a way of me just determining what has corroded and gone astray at this point here. So that's my next job. I think out of all of them, and I'll mention why I probably wouldn't go for the NH1 now, and it's just the cost of it now is prohibited. There's obviously issues if you don't have the lead or the cradle. You can adapt the one from the N10, from the Minidisc N10. You can see that in one of my other videos, so you can do that. And I didn't even have a cable actually, but I was able to make a USB connection for it, so I could link it to the PC. So that does work, but the main drawback, everyone will tell you, is the battery. The batteries are about the same price as some of these players actually, when they're listed as not working. So they're around sort of £70 to if you can find one like this. But that's the culprit there. So the culprit is yeah, the kind of dock, the cable, and the battery. So that's why I would not go for that particular model. And the model I think I would go for is the 710. I quite like this one. I like the fact that it feels definite on the buttons. I've got quite chunky fingers and thumbs, always getting in the way. So yeah, so that's the one of the ones for me. And nothing wrong with this model if you're in the UK, the NH600. It's a nice model, but that's the only advice I can give you. Obviously, if you go for the really expensive model, RH1, then be prepared for the screen to be a bit dim and possibly other issues, and you may be better off just pick up a NH1. But that's where we are with those. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for your time and for watching, and I'll do some more in the future. Bye for now.